welcome to Gutter Trash, episode 177, OMAC. My name is Eric.
I'm Jason.
How's it going?
Oh, not bad.
Yeah?
Oh.
What are you eating there?
I'm not eating. I feel like I've still got these Doritos in my teeth.
Oh, yeah.
I had some salsa verde.
Salsa verde.
Oh, you can do the R sound a lot better.
Yeah.
It's your heritage.
Yeah.
I'm just all white.
If I would have, for even a split second, stopped to have thought about how to pronounce that, I would have fucked it up royally.
Wouldn't have yep. You know, I could do that easily when I was taking Spanish classes in high school.
Right.
Like, I got really good at rolling my R's. I'm bad at it now. Can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, wanna just jump right into this?
OMAC?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, OMAC.
Yeah.
OMAC. The story of a pimp, an Irish pimp.
Oh, that would have been awesome. The New 52. Switching it up.
They said, fuck Jack Kirby.
Well, no, they found these sketches where Jack Kirby had always wanted to do an Irish pimp comic. And Stan just wouldn't let him do it, holding him back.
Yeah.
But now it's here.
Yep.
Ben DiDio and Keith Giffen brought it to light.
Let's amp this up. Let's talk about this. Let's be loud and obnoxious.
Oh, okay.
OMAC. New 52. DC Universe rebooted. This is our first foray into the New 52.
Oh, wow, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I know I've almost picked like 3 of them.
Right.
But, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick 1 or 2 here in the next few months.
And now that there's a chunk of them all.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got like an entire pile of unread books sitting next to my bed, and quite a few of those are from the New 52.
You been saving them for the show?
Not necessarily. Just saving them in general.
Yeah.
I generally don't read a comic unless I do it for the show, so...
Really?
Yeah, I try.
Mm-hmm.
I try to, but sometimes it just gets away from you.
Well, I seem to read a couple a week anyway, but usually I'd say once or twice a month I read something that I think I'm going to pick for the show, and as I'm reading it, for one reason or another, I decide not to, either because it's bad or just because it's not something I feel like I want to like really talk about. You know, it's like,
give me some examples.
Well, like, okay,
mostly because I want to see what I'm missing out on.
Okay, well, one that I'm reading right now that I was going to pick before I picked OMAC, but I'm only halfway through it, so I haven't finished it yet. But It's called Suckle.
Never heard of it.
It's a Dave Cooper comic.
Okay, yeah. I've heard of him.
Yeah. But, you know, the main reason I didn't pick it was like a third or halfway through it, I realized it's really, 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 really similar to the Weathercraft Jim Woodring book we picked. Because it's just kind of like, although, I mean, there's like talking in it.
Surreal. And
it's just surreal, and this guy's just wandering through this other world, and it just looks neat, and there's like crazy shit that happens for seemingly no reason, but it seems like it's more like about what's going on in the character's brain, and like, you know, just there's all these like, you know, metaphorical things happening where you're like, what's that supposed to mean? And I mean, but it was like, it seemed like we would have the same exact show. We would just like plug in.
But what if I liked this one?
Oh, that'd be weird. And then like, what if I don't like it by the time it's over? but I started to say, but the art's incredible. But then that's exactly what you said about Weathercraft. So, yeah, maybe that would happen. Well, shit. Maybe you should pick Suckle next time.
All right. What are we doing?
We're talking about OMAC.
OMAC!
One man.
No. One machine attack construct?
I think that's right.
Yeah. Not the one-man Army Corps like it used to be.
Right.
Back in the Back in the old 52.
That's right. I think there was more than 52 back then, wasn't there?
I don't know.
No.
Well, why would they call it the new 52 if there weren't an old one?
You're right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So this is a little bit different than the Kirby version.
Yeah. I've only ever read the very first issue of the Kirby version.
Yeah. I don't think I've read any Kirby OMAC tales.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have read the John Byrne 4-issue deluxe miniseries from like 1990.
Was that good?
I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
but at the time I was a huge John Byrne fan.
Yeah.
And it was neat to see John Byrne black and white artwork.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was black and white and gray tone.
Wow, I'd like to see that.
I've almost picked it multiple times
Really?
throughout the years. And just for one reason or another, haven't.
Wow.
And now I feel weird doing it because we've read this one.
Right. Yeah, eventually we could do all three versions.
Yeah, 4.
Wow.
4. Because during the Infinite Crisis, there was another variation on the OMAC.
The OMAC project?
Yeah. It was weird
blue robots.
Yeah.
They look like creatures from like a Tool video.
Kind of, yeah.
Only with mohawks.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually read those. I like those.
I read, I think I read the series, the mini-series that came out around it.
Mm-hmm.
It was alright.
Batman was in it.
Batman. Doing Batman
cool.
things. Yeah. I was still reeling over the loss of a Theodore Cord.
Oh, yeah.
Blue Beetle. God rest his soul.
Are you in the new 52?
Not the good one.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So I am gonna say, right off the bat, that when they announced the new 52, I know a ton of people, some people I've even had contact with on the internets, in a one might say a friendly manner.
Mm-hmm.
As
friendly as you can get on the internet.
Right. They'll pretty much just immediately shat upon the entire OMAC thing when it was announced that it was going to be a series. Because Dan DiDio, mostly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's not really thought of as a writer, right?
Not only that, although he did start out as a writer at DC.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think his background, he's definitely an executive type.
Right.
But I think he did. I think he was like one of the producers of like the reboot cartoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I love that cartoon.
So he's had some animation experience in the past, just being like an executive, I think.
I had no idea that he had written any prior stuff.
He and Jimmy Palmiotti co-wrote Superboy for a while. Before DiDio became the publisher at DC, or the editor-in-chief, or whatever you want to call him. And I think I've never had any problem with any of the things that he does at DC. I think there are certain things that, as a fan, you're just sort of like, that's dumb.
Right.
But, I've never been one of those guys to just wholly assign blame on like one person, like the way that people are just
like on Joe Quesada.
Right. Yeah. He gets it the worst.
Yeah.
But Dan DiDio is definitely his DC counterpart, although Joe Quesada is no longer the editor-in-chief at Marvel. He still gets a ton of the blame, though.
Oh yeah, people still think like he's still ruining it somehow.
Yep. A sidebar.
Yeah.
Last week Marvel announced that they were doing a series called Spider-Man. They didn't just announce it last week, but they finally announced what it was about.
Okay.
And it is a crossover between Ultimate Spider-Man, the new one, Miles Morales, and Marvel Universe Spider-Man, Peter Parker. And so people went back 7 years to find an interview with Joe Quesada in which he was quoted as saying that there will never be a crossover between the Ultimate and the Marvel Universe, and if there is, that means we have officially run out of ideas.
Oh.
And people are having a fucking field day with that.
Right. Soon Marvel ran out of ideas.
Right, yeah. Right. But then also, like a month later, Quesada gave another interview and basically said, when I said that, I'm also saying right now that, there's also a chance I could change my mind. Because, I'm an adult and I can do that. And then there's the fact that it was 7 fucking years ago.
Right, yeah. and like, probably right after he said that originally, like, the other, higher-ups were like, maybe Joe.
Right, yeah.
That's actually something we'll probably do eventually.
Right, yeah. So people are just...
Right. I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, people are just always wanting to just blame someone. And the Dio gets a lot of it from DC. And so when OMAC was announced, he got... they're just like, well, fuck that guy. He's ruined the DC universe. Why am I going to read that fucking book?
Right.
And then, when it came out, first issue of OMAC, probably one of the better acclaimed books that came out.
Like, critically.
Critically,
right.
Yeah.
Not sales-wise, probably.
Not sales-wise, because it's canceled.
Yeah.
Probably the main reason we're reading it and reviewing it for this show is because there's no more.
We can read the whole... We read the whole series.
We did read the whole series.
Yeah, I was gonna pick it once there were 6 of them, but
right
before issue 6 came out, I'd heard that there's only gonna be 8 of them.
Right, might as well.
So I was like, wait on that.
Of course, the whole New 52 thing, they aren't stopping at just 6 issues for their stories.
Nope.
Because I know, the Batman Night of the Owls thing, that's going to issue 12.
Yeah.
I think they're all roughly
like a year-long.
A year-long storyline.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So unless it got canceled, they're still going. we would have stopped in the middle of a cliffhanger had we just
that would have been bad.
Issues. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have even considered that.
Right.
Like that would have been in the middle of the story.
Right.
Because it's just the traditional. But hey, this is the New 52. All bets are off.
Right. So yeah, 8 issues long. I'm gonna go ahead and just come out and say it. Whether this is an unpopular opinion or not, I'm coming out with it.
No.
This may be pretty close to what I want out of superhero comics.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's bold.
Yeah.
It's a bold statement.
Every single issue, for the most part, standalone story.
Mm-hmm.
With a background plot running through each issue.
Yeah.
That eventually will come to the front.
Mm-hmm.
Like a comic should do.
Right.
And every single issue has just the right amount of character moments, character building, and over-the-top fucking colorful action.
The action is pretty amazing.
Yeah. This is a high mark for superhero comics.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you killed it. Not you personally.
I was like, I bought every issue.
The listener.
Oh.
The listener killed it.
You bastards.
You fuckers.
I was just gonna go with a PG kind of insult, but
Oh, you know me.
You're hard R.
Yeah.
That's what they call you Eric Hard R, Sean Boy.
All the time.
Or do they just call you Eric Hard on Sean Boy?
They might be saying that.
It's hard something or other.
I mean, I do constantly have a boner.
Right.
Yeah,
I can see it now.
Yeah. Maybe they are calling me that.
Well, either way, you guys are right.
Oh, yeah.
But you're wrong for that.
And to be feared and respected.
Yes. Yeah. But you're totally wrong for not buying OMAC. Yeah, I agree. It was super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun superhero comic.
That's all you want out of a superhero comic. That is the bare minimum you need.
I mean, sometimes I like a little more. There's some superhero comics that really,
Okay, I mean, yeah, I should say that not every superhero comic should be exactly like that.
Right.
A Batman shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, even the new Batman, I don't want to review it in case it's something we're going to pick.
Yeah,
but it's way different, but it's still really enjoyable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. Yeah, Batman, the Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo series.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely one of the better books that I'm reading out of the New 52.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, it is completely different from OMAC, and it's fine that way too.
Yeah.
Like I definitely don't want Batman to be running around.
Yeah, just smashing people up. Like,
so yeah, it is, keyed into what type of character it is.
right.
But when you have a big, strong, crackling looking character like OMAC.
Controlled by, forces upon,
Right.
in the heavens or whatever.
Yeah, well, I think I would be disappointed in this book if it were, written as if it were, Batman or whatever.
Like, yeah, if it was real atmospheric and dramatic and
Right, yeah.
broody and...
That's not what this book is.
No.
Yeah.
It's bombastic.
Very bombastic, yeah.
And Keith Giffen's art, I mean, you can definitely tell it's Giffen, but it just looks like him and Kirby, like, meshed together. You know? Like, both of their styles are there.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the faces, especially on the, like, just average, normal people, they look like Kirby drew the faces.
Right. See, I would say on the average people, it definitely looks like Giffen drew it.
Really?
Because it reminds me a little, I'm less familiar with Keith Giffen's actual artwork than like you are. I mostly know him from his writing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just from what I've seen, like his Legion of Superhero stuff, like it just had that kind of blocky, chunky look to it without the Kirby stuff. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
No. Well, I mean, Giffen is
I think what I'm trying to say is that I think he is melding his own style with a very heavy Kirby influence.
Oh, yeah.
But I think he's toning it back for like more of the real world stuff, which there's not a ton of anyway in this book.
Right.
And then he's just totally cutting loose when the action starts.
I think maybe it wasn't one of the actual just like, like office worker kind of people, but I remember some of the actual faces. I think it was on, like Maxwell Lord's team, whatever this Checkmate or whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. Some of those guys, like, there was a couple panels that, I swear I was just like, did he trace that off of a Kirby character? And it was just like, it's a human. It's not like a monster, but yeah, it's so like, everything's so thick and huge and crazy in this book. Like,
yeah.
The art's just incredible.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I seriously did. And, like 3 issues in, I was just like, I'm gonna be mad by the end of this because it's just gonna be over.
Yeah.
And I was. Cause you can tell that, like pretty much every issue was just an extended fight scene.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, you could tell that, like, they were building to something.
Yeah.
Something was happening.
Right.
And,
I just never really got to...
It didn't get a chance.
Right. And you know what it really reminded me of? And, I kind of didn't figure it out until, whatever that issue was where he was in Texas, I forget, he just, like, kind of woke up there. Mm-hmm. It reminded me a lot of the Bill Bixby Hulk TV show.
Uh-huh.
Because, he's, like, wandering around, he's kind of confused, and he's kind of got these two, like this human and this, like, monster in his brain.
It's very much DC's version of the Hulk.
Yeah. But it's just, it's a little more sci-fi-y.
Yeah. It's, super Kirbified.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like all kinds of aliens and whatnot.
Yeah. Very new worldy.
Very, yeah.
I think even some of the characters were from the Fourth World type stuff.
Yeah.
I meant Fourth World, not New World.
I knew what you meant.
Okay. Well, the listener might not know.
Oh, okay.
I didn't.
But yeah, like every, like in the Hulk, like he'd always be wandering around and then like, something crazy would happen and he would turn to the Hulk and smash shit up, and that's pretty much what happened here.
Yeah.
There's a story along with it too, but
he's also being manipulated throughout all of this, but yeah, as Kevin Coe, he will wake up. He has no idea what's going on, and then suddenly he turns into a giant blue monster and smashes shit.
Yeah. And he's being controlled by like pretty much every technological device, like, is being like is a mouthpiece for this Brother Eye satellite alien entity kind of thing. It's
a satellite, and that's one of the things that actually this is actually, I guess, a better question for you, or a better thing for you to speak out about. Because I mean, you'll read a superhero book, but you aren't on a regular basis doing so.
Right.
You're definitely not following a series on like any regular basis up until this.
Yeah. Right. Well, and Batman. I read Batman.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. But that started with the New 52.
Right.
Yeah. So you weren't into like the crossovers and all this bullshit and the continuity and everything.
Yeah. Right.
So, as a person that was reading a bunch of that stuff before the reboot, like I found bits and pieces in this story that called back to certain past storylines before the 52 start over.
Oh, okay.
So, not having that knowledge beforehand, were you still able to, like, enjoy this for what it was without knowing everything that preceded this?
Oh, yeah, until you just mentioned it, I had no idea that it called back to anything.
Yeah. Because basically, it was hinted at a little bit, like they didn't blatantly come out and say it or even show it.
Mm-hmm.
But there was like one panel where they show like, Batman and Batman's glove, like when Brother Eye is having a flashback or whatever. And it's because Batman built Brother Eye in the pre-52 universe.
Okay.
So it seemed like they were touching back on that a little bit. And the whole Maxwell Lord, becoming evil and, killing Blue Beetle, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I knew there was like more backstory with Maxwell Lord that I wasn't familiar with. I mean, like I said, I read OMAC Project, but I felt like there was still, I don't really know that much about the character. So, but yeah, I mean, it just seemed like it seemed so Silver Agey where it was more about the action and the atmosphere, and you didn't really have to know every nuance of the characters.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
It was perfect, because honestly, with the fact that it was a brand new OMAC, I just assumed that they were, just starting from scratch and you're just having this thing run around and then be its own entity. But the fact that, as a longtime reader, as a regular reader, I guess, that they did throw some of that in without having to beat you over the head with, you need to know this stuff.
Right.
I thought that was a great way to approach this.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And there's enough, like, tips of the hat, like the Build a Friend. They put that in there from the old OMAC stuff, and,
reference to, Granny Goodness and, the female Furies.
Right. Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah.
And Keith Giffen's this master of, he's got like 6 different drawing styles.
Right.
And like, even though, we've both said it looks like he's, sort of channeling Kirby, there's no way you would just mistake this for Kirby art. It just looks like this awesome, like, filter of like Kirby's art being poured through the filter of Giffen.
Right.
And he's really great at that, just like taking a style and just kind of making it his own.
Right.
Even if, you can see the influences he's aping or whatever.
Yeah. I will say there was one issue I was disappointed in, and that was the issue he did not draw.
Yeah. Nothing against, is it Scott Collins?
Scott Collins, I think, yeah.
He's an artist.
I'm gonna say he's not.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been a fan.
He's one of those people, like, I would never buy anything simply because he did it.
Right.
But also at the same time, like, if as long as the story was good, I would read anything with Scott Collins art. Like, if he was drawing Walking Dead, I'd be reading Walking Dead. But yeah, it was very disappointing when you open that up and, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
No Giffen.
No Giffen. But, he co-wrote everything with Dan Dia, so,
his flavor's still there.
Right, yeah. So yeah, I think I gotta say, I have to wonder if people just did avoid this book because Dan DiDio was attached to it as the writer, and just didn't give it a chance.
I think there's three main reasons really. I mean, like Dan DiDio, like right. people don't really like. They either don't know who he is because he's not a flashy,
right?
Creator, or like you said, B, people have this opinion of him already. But also, I think the style the book was done in, not necessarily the fact that it was either one of these, right. I mean, yeah, it like has this completely different flavor than the other superhero books. It's it is like a love letter to the Silver Age,
right? And I think, I definitely can see that people would avoid it.
Yeah, they're like, I don't really like old comics. I don't want something.
Or they just, I don't think it even has anything to do with old comics. I think just I would say your average modern day superhero reader, they view cartoony art as just something to be avoided, and that it's like lessening,
I can't stand that line of reasoning, but
bullshit.
It's out there.
Absolute bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Marcus Martin. I was talking to a guy. He's like, yeah, I love Daredevil, and I picked up this new Daredevil series because Mark Waid's awesome, and like I love Daredevil. He's like, but that art is just so terrible, and I was like, really? I was like, that's the only reason I bought it is because of how awesome the art was, and like I know he's an artist. He like does like like kind of like fan art or something. Like I've seen him set up at I think Gym City a couple of years ago, but he was like, he just looked at me like I was fucking crazy.
You should have punched him. Well, punched him in the crotch.
I was on the clock, or I would have. Yeah. Like he was on the other side of the camera. I was like, man, that's so weird. Like, I mean, because Marcus Martin has this kind of simple or cartoony,
right?
But I mean, obviously, he's an amazing draftsman. I mean, like it's amazing to look at.
Right.
It doesn't look like a kid at your high school did it.
Right.
And I do not understand it at all because I think that's like, I mean, we are reading comics here,
right?
And the main goal is to tell a story, and sometimes the cartoonier artwork really
tells it better.
Tells the story. Yeah, I mean, it's all about simplifying.
Right.
Like, I mean, I love Jeff Darrow and like Phil Jimenez and all these guys, but I don't like really reading comics by them because I get too tripped up, and like I think it doesn't flow as well.
Right.
Like I think they're amazing illustrators, and I would love to see a million posters and covers by them. But
I think Jeff Darrow has a cartoony style. I think it's just he spends so much time on the details,
right?
That it does stop, story flow,
right?
And I think Phil Jimenez actually is a better storyteller than maybe you're giving him credit for.
Yeah.
But I just think that his particular style that he draws in, it doesn't lend itself well to some stories.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I used to read stuff that he did, like he did some Invisibles and whatnot.
Right.
And I never had a problem with those, but I think once he started doing, like, I think the first time I ever noticed it was he did a Spider-Man comic, and it was just like, it was so weird.
He's not a guy who should be doing Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was just really strange.
Invisibles and him were fine because it's, I mean, as crazy as the Invisibles got, it was a story that was grounded in reality a little bit.
Right.
And it was more about, espionage and then, sort of real world action.
Yeah.
And I think that suits him, and I think books like that are perfect for him. Like, I could see him doing like, I mean, he would probably hate it, but, I could see him doing like a Punisher comic or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be much better. Yeah, when you see every little, it's like the Spider-Man suit in the movies. When you see every little stitch and everything, it just
takes you out.
Yeah, it totally does.
Yeah. Because Spider-Man should be drawn by someone like like Scotty Young, someone with just like a dynamic, flair and looseness.
Or even like, I know you're not a fan, but J. Scott Campbell's Spider-Man, I think, is awesome.
I think you would probably be fine on Spider-Man, but he's got that. He's definitely got a looseness to his work, that suits a character like that.
Yeah.
Whereas I think he would be absolutely terrible on like an Invisibles.
Oh yeah. That would be awful.
Yeah,
that would be so awful. And I love the guy's art, but yeah, that would be terrible.
Yeah,
I think it's all about choosing the right man for the job.
And I don't think any of those people we mentioned would have worked on OMAC.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? Keith Giffen could have done any of those projects.
Oh yeah,
because he's got so many different art styles that he's mastered. And this one is like him drawing these awesome splash pages with these, like, what's that fucking crazy train that they're riding at the end of, I think it's like one of the last two issues.
Oh, with like the weird monster
tusks thing.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I was like, I'm glad they didn't explain that at all because it was just fucking crazy. And that just added to the absurdness of it all. Yeah. Yeah, super fun book.
Very fun book. And
I'm sorry, I was in the middle of a tangent.
Yeah.
The third thing, because I was like, okay. The third thing I think is that it's OMAC. People are like, I don't know what that is. Right. I'm not going to buy that. I've got 48 other books I'm buying.
I'm buying all Superman and Batman novels.
And like, it just kind of got, not
lost.
swept under the rug, but just under the radar. Yeah. People are like, maybe if I hear something about that. My friend tells me it's good or something.
Probably, because I think even things like, I know like books like Animal Man and Swamp Thing are doing okay.
Right.
But I also think that there's like a certain nostalgia already for those characters that allow them to, still continue to be published, not get canceled.
Right.
Plus, they're getting the acclaim from the critics and all that too. But yeah, I think OMAC not really having a singular character in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Probably has hurt that too.
Right. Yeah. There's no OMAC action figure.
Well, there are.
But is there really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's got a Brave and the Bold action figure.
Was there a Superpowers action figure where he had like a
that I don't know about.
I think he had like two different heads or two different
Where's
faces.
Joe?
Yeah. He's probably pissing in his backyard.
Let's text him real quick.
Yeah. I feel like there was like a red action figure with like a white helmet and you could switch his face somehow or something. Was that OMAC? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe that wasn't OMAC.
But I do know he had a figure in the most recent DC Universe line of action figures.
Did he look like this one?
No. He looked like the Kirby version, basically.
Oh, okay.
Kirby John Byrne version. I don't imagine that there was this version of him as a action figure.
Unless they do like a New 52 line, maybe.
Yeah. I don't think they will. Especially now that the book's canceled.
Yeah.
It would be awesome though.
Yeah.
And as awesome as the series is, you get to that 8th issue and it's like, oh crap, we're canceled. Let's try to wrap up as many things as we possibly can.
It was one of those situations where you felt like it was a little too
rushed,
forced quit.
Yeah. And it does leave it open still for it to make a return at some point. But I'm gonna have to say that, unless it's, Keith Giffen, involved, I don't know that it'll have the same charm.
Oh yeah, definitely not. I think there's plenty of other...
Probably somebody who could.
Oh yeah. But it'll be a slightly different kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there is like a nice twist on, like, I think it's the very last page where the story kind of takes, possible, giant new direction.
Right.
And they, like you said, they leave it open for maybe someone else to tackle that.
Right.
And I could see how that would have a different flavor because, it is like open to a whole new sort of style of storytelling at that point.
Yeah.
Like the character, has some major development there.
Yeah. Well, I think they were building to that anyway.
Yeah.
Like throughout the series, because basically what happens is that, Kevin becomes trapped inside the OMAC body, but he has full control over it, by the end.
Right.
But I think even throughout the series, OMAC starts out as just sort of a mindless brute who can only just repeat things that are spoken to him.
Yeah.
But then throughout, he starts gaining more and more ability, and then
instead of just single words, he's like,
forming sentences and thoughts,
right.
and then doing his own thing sometimes. So they were definitely building to that anyway. It's just that
it probably wouldn't have been on issue number 8.
Probably not.
Yeah. Maybe issue 20 or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is kind of a shame. I do like the last issue. The cover of it, though, is, if you can pull it out.
Oh, yeah. Everyone, can you see it, everybody?
Can you see it? It is kind of a little homage to the Hulk series, the Bill Bixby.
Oh, yeah.
Like every episode would end with
his back.
Him walking away. Like you can just hear the sad music playing.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, that's awesome. I didn't think about that. And there is a nice little scene for those of you who are only, Batman and Superman fans.
Right.
Superman
appears in the...
and that is awesome.
Yeah.
I love Giffen drawing Superman.
Even in that shitty new costume.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, whenever you could see his legs, but I'm like, whatever. Whatever. It's fine.
I just don't like all those seams.
Yeah.
They're just pointless.
Right.
Superman. Yeah.
It's too much. Goes back to that whole simplicity thing.
Yeah.
Streamline it, baby.
Yep.
That's why I just wear this jumpsuit here. Every time I come over.
We are dressed like twin Michael Myers.
Yeah, yours has the E on the chest and mine has the J.
Yep.
We're like the Laverne and Shirley of, podcast.
Yeah. It's probably Laverne or,
Which she wear?
She was the only one that wore her initial on the.
I think they both did, didn't they?
I don't think so.
I think Shirley had the S too. Maybe not.
Who knows?
Maybe I'm thinking of Squiggly.
Squiggy.
Yeah. He wore the S. So that was on his underpants. Which one was in Spinal Tap? Was that Lenny? That was Lenny, right? Yeah. Oh man, what a great movie.
So OMAC.
Sad. It's sad that it's not around.
It is. Yeah. Next month is going to be a little empty in the old comic file.
Well, they've brought back some new books, Doll Age for Hero and whatnot.
I'm going to check that out.
Yeah.
I've heard okay things about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting the first issue of World's Finest, but I think I'm pretty sure that I actually don't want it.
Yeah.
But it's too late.
You've already pre-ordered.
Yeah. Earth 2 is coming out. I'll look forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think any of them are going to be as fun and awesome as OMAC.
Yeah. Quite possibly not.
But, here's hoping, though.
Yeah.
Because comics should be fun.
Well,
superhero comics should be fun, for sure.
Well, the sad part is Dan DiDio will probably be like, wow, I guess these fun comics don't really work. I thought it might.
Right.
Let's make everything a little more serious.
Yeah. That is actually a scary thought to have.
It really is.
Yeah. Because, he is still a higher up at DC.
Right.
That is a decision he could easily make.
Yeah, and he was obviously close enough to this project to realize,
right,
that it was just something fun, and
right.
He sees exactly what it was, obviously.
Right. And
so
sees exactly that it failed.
Yeah.
Sadly.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
That is really too bad.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah. It's a sad day now. We should go pull one out for our homie.
Pour one out?
Yeah.
Tupac?
Yeah.
Did you hear about Tupac?
Yeah, I did.
He's back!
Yeah, he's back.
That's awesome.
He's
better than ever. Hopefully they'll insert him into the next version of Return of the Jedi that comes out. That would be awesome. That would be much better than seeing Hayden Christensen.
Yeah. All right. Want to take a break?
Sure.
Or is there anything else about OMAC?
Oh yeah, do we want to say anything about Frankenstein? A good crossover with Frankenstein.
They did have a crossover.
I didn't expect that when the series started.
I did, just because I'm on the internet.
Oh yeah, you are.
I did not read the Frankenstein issue that coincided with it. But,
Me neither.
It seemed to stand alone on its own in the OMAC. So.
Yeah, I was worried about that, and I was, me, I was a little pissed off about it when I first heard about it. And like, I'm sure the Frankenstein's a great book. I just was pissed off because I was like, I don't want to have to go back and read all those other books.
Well, I did have it, like, just in case. Like you were out of town this weekend, so luckily it didn't come up. And by the time I read the issue of OMAC that it crossed over, it was, I was like, okay, well, it's not necessary to read that other issue, but like, had I read it before and had it been a necessary thing, I was going to be able to give you that issue if you needed to read it.
That's cool. Yeah, it really didn't feel like, the only thing was like, it felt like I didn't really know that much about the Frankenstein character, but they kind of filled you in, and it was like, just another crazy creature he's fighting.
Kinda, yeah. The Frankenstein series is good. I've enjoyed what I've read of it. It's taking a lot of what Grant Morrison built up with the character in the Seven Soldiers thing that he did a few years ago. So, yeah,
that's cool.
It is pretty much just wacky sci-fi fun.
Yeah.
It's a little darker, but not in a grim and brooding kind of way. Just because it's monsters.
Just a fun horror tint.
Right, yeah.
That's cool. Well, I might check that one out eventually. I like Jeff Lemire a lot.
I totally agree with that. I think Matt Kent is taking over as the writer next issue.
I like that fellow as well.
There you go. More reasons for you to read that.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Take a break?
Yeah, let's do that. welcome back to Gutter Trash.
Howdy.
What's up?
Oh, not much. I think I should say happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
As we were recording this, it was your birthday yesterday.
Yeah, I got older.
Yeah, you did. How many years old are you now?
I'm this many. For the listener, I'm 35.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That was halfway through your 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I do feel exactly like I did for the last 20 years.
Yeah. Stoned?
Stoned and horny.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
Yeah. No, I am not stoned.
Right?
I am horny. I'm always horny.
You're a dude.
I'm a dude.
Yeah.
What do you know? We just watched an episode of The Venture Brothers, and Dr. Girlfriend shouldn't dress like that if she doesn't want to make us horny.
Very true.
Yeah.
She's a very sexy cartoon babe.
She is. Oh my gosh, and that voice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing an impression of that voice now.
That's why I'm horny. Every time I'm around you, I'm like, he's practically, if he wears that getup, it's on. I'm just gonna, it doesn't matter what's going on here. I don't care who's here. I don't care who our guest is.
This is why I don't have you over on Tuesdays.
Is that your costume?
That's the day I wear the Dr. Girlfriend costume.
You practice for your San Diego Comic-Con trip?
Yep.
Or Dragon Con, it's probably closer.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It's got more gamers there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the main reason I want to go. Right.
They do love your Dr. Girlfriend costume. Those gamers. Oh, gamers.
Yeah, so, did you do anything for your birthday? Did you get any presents?
I did.
Yeah?
I did. I got some CDs and some candy. See, I told you I'm 15 still. And I spent most of the day in a pickup truck, driving from Tennessee to Ohio with my cousin. He was driving, but yeah.
Well, you could sleep and relax.
I didn't though. It was weird. It's weird. I think I've turned over a new leaf. I'm traditionally a late sleeper.
Right.
Like I usually don't have to be at work till 11.
Right.
The last, let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. The last 5 days, the latest I've slept is 8:30, which for me is crazy.
Right.
And like tomorrow, I'm getting up at actually the next 2 days, I'm getting up between 8 and 8:30.
Yeah.
For appointments I have. Yeah. So I think I'm turning into a morning person.
Oh yeah, look at you getting up at the crack of dawn.
Yeah. Hey, I got up at 5:45 on Saturday.
Yeah.
Or 5:30 actually.
It's still 15 minutes later than I have to get up.
Oh,
Monday through Friday.
Oh. Well, baby steps. I'm going from 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and maybe I'll work my way down to 7:30 at some point, like 10 years from now. But yeah. So I've been enjoying the mornings.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
So I've been doing this bullshit for 6 years now.
Right.
And I am still not enjoying mornings ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess some internal clocks just never get adjusted right.
Yeah. Cause, so I nearly had a temper tantrum on Sunday, cause I had somewhere to be at noon. It's like, that is fucking early for a Sunday.
It is early.
To be somewhere at noon, that means I had to get up at 11.
Holy crap.
At the latest. Which I did.
Yeah.
At 11.
Well, it's still pretty good. You can sleep till 11.
Yeah, I went to bed at 4:30.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Like the whole time we were in Tennessee, like the first 7 hours I was there, I was just nodding off. I just felt like I couldn't stay awake. But we went to visit my uncle. Long story short, we thought he was basically dying of cancer, but basically he's kicking cancer's ass.
Okay.
Like he's doing really well.
Yeah.
But it was, I hadn't seen him.
So it was a wasted trip.
I know. What a waste. Next time, wait till you're dying before you call me. No, I'm so glad that he wasn't, because he's like one of my absolute favorite relatives, and he always has been since I've been a kid. And he's just this awesome dude that lives on the hill. He's been dating the same lady for over 2 decades. They don't live together. They just have dated for 20 years.
Nice.
This
is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. He's smart. I'm working on it. I'm 3 years into that same plan.
Okay. Hey, I did mine for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah. But no, this was awesome. We were sitting on his porch, and I was like falling in and out of sleep, and there's all these like bugs. There's a lot of gnats down there.
It's Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, just full of
a lot of creatures,
insects and racists.
Yeah. I've seen buzzards and turkeys and ostriches when I've been at his house. Like, right. I mean, it's fucking crazy. But he has a bug zapper. He's had a bug zapper forever, as long as I can remember, on the porch. But this time he had a tennis racket that had a button on the side, and the wire strings of the racket are not wire strings. They're like the same material as a bug zapper. And it's like, I mean, it looks exactly like a tennis racket. And he just sits there and he's like, you can hear the bugs just zapping as he's moving the tennis racket around on the porch. It was crazy.
Now, is that an actual thing, or did he make that?
No. Like, I mean, I could see him making it because he's real, like, technical, but I mean, it had like a copyright and a button on the side and everything. Right. So yeah, it was nuts though.
Well, though, that somewhere else in some backwoods, small town country, somebody did make that, and then just happened to patent it and make $1 million on it.
Yeah, no one in a city made that.
Right, yeah. Exactly, yeah. Just another fun example of white trash ingenuity.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Yeah, it was super fun. I had a really good time. I got to see like 8 or 9 of my relatives down there, so most of which I really like.
That's cool. I'm not big on my family, so yeah. It is alien to me to enjoy your family.
You got a few you like, right? You got
some, my mom and my dad.
Yeah, that's some.
Yeah. Mostly just because I lived with them for 20 years, so I got used to them.
Right. Yeah. You learned to tolerate.
Exactly.
I really like some of my cousins. One of them works at a prison down there. Yeah. One of them is 10 years old, and he was just running around with guns and blades the entire time, right. Which was fucking crazy to me. But they don't care. They're like, it looked like an automatic rifle, but it was a BB gun. And they just like gave it to him, and he was just running around outside with it and shooting it around.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's Tennessee. Why not? But yeah, good times. Oh, but this was sort of like a birthday present for me. On the way home, my uncle was like, there's actually some legalized moonshine that they sell at this gas station right by the exit. Like, I was like, what? And he was like, no, I'm serious. He's like, it's moonshine, and it's called Popcorn Sutton. And they sell it there, and we went by, but on the way home, we were leaving on Sunday, so the liquor store was closed, unfortunately. It's like a gas station / liquor store, right. And the half that sells liquor was closed.
Right.
So I didn't get to buy any, but they did have at the same gas station
Grippos.
Yes. Well, they had Grippos. But they had a Grippos product I did not know existed.
Oh.
And I bought this on my birthday. I bought a bottle of Grippos barbecue sauce.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm so excited.
Isn't it? Don't they make? Yeah, never mind. I mean,
What?
I don't think you're allowed to have barbecue sauce.
What? What is that?
Because you're a vegetarian.
Oh, I'm gonna put it on.
Don't tell me what you're putting it on, because that's gonna make it worse. Just as a vegetarian, you are not allowed to have barbecue sauce.
You've never had a cucumber sprouts barbecue sandwich?
You are blaspheming the whole purpose of barbecue sauce.
To make things better?
To make meat better.
Oh. Alright,
It is not meant for your pussy vegetables.
I'll put a ham bone on there or something.
I keep telling you, you need to start eating meat.
Yeah.
It's just going to make your life that much better.
I basically should have before I went to Tennessee, because everything that anybody makes there, like the fucking coleslaw has ham in it. And it's like one night for dinner, he made this fucking spread. I mean, it was Saturday night. He made this giant spread of dinner. But the only thing I could eat was mashed potatoes and a biscuit. And
those had bacon in it.
I wouldn't be surprised, because my stomach was fucked up. I mean, it might have just been like an inch and a half of like bacon grease in his pans that he used. Right. But my stomach was fucked up, and all I had was mashed potatoes, and I drank some tomato juice. Surely there wasn't like chunks of pork in the tomato juice, but I mean, it was delicious, and like, don't get me wrong.
The tomato juice was just a steak that they wrung out.
Oh God. You're probably right. Wow, I didn't think about that. But, no, it was, I mean, like, he's an awesome cook, and like, I enjoyed his eggs and whatnot, but yeah, everything was loaded with meat. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So I had to sneak off, like, I just told him I wasn't very hungry, and then like, after he was in the other room, I had packed some snacks, and I made a peanut butter sandwich and wolfed it down while I was in the other room.
So they don't know that you're a vegetarian.
No, I've told him I'm a vegetarian, but he doesn't understand. Like he was like, well, he's like, I made beans. You can eat some beans. And I went over to the bean pot, and there's a giant hand. I mean, it's like protruding like the fucking Titanic glacier, you know? And like, I was like, oh. And then like, he made gravy, biscuits and gravy in the morning, and there was no meat in the gravy.
Right.
But it was this, like, it was what he cooked a sausage in, and I was like, oh, I can't eat that. I'm gonna get sick all over the place. Sorry. I'm like, do you have any, like, you know, pad thai?
I think, you know, whether, you know, hopefully he beats the cancer. Hopefully he has a nice long life. But when he does pass, you know, maybe they'll just give you a call and say, stay home, city boy.
Well, they were talking about they're going to have this, like, because we used to always do this like cousins reunion, like every so many years, because they're all spread out in different states and whatnot. And they're going to have one sometime like late summer, early fall. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll definitely be here, yeah. And I started thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, that'll be like 3 days of me sneaking into the outhouse to eat a peanut butter sandwich. But I'm still looking forward to it, because I really do like a lot of my family down there. They're like, I like maybe like 3 people on my mom's side of the family, and then like 24 on my dad's side of the family. So pretty excited.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Glad you had a good time. I guess that's a fine way to spend your birthday.
Yeah.
I mean, you did initially go down there for, you know, I guess what you presumed was possibly going to be a sad occasion.
Right, yeah.
And the fact that you had a lot of fun, it was sort of a vacation for you. You got to take a weekend off. You know?
I did have like kind of an anxiety attack on Saturday night though. Like one that was not pleasant. And I hadn't really had them in years. But we were all sitting around, and like they were just talking about weapons, and like my uncle was talking about how, like, this is this nice, peaceful little town. It's called Oneida. It's on the side of a mountain, and like there's like nothing around. And he said that they've started having murders, and like meth is being sold there, and like I mean, like, I was like, oh my gosh. And he was like, yeah, he's like, everything's going crazy around here. And I was like, it was getting me really depressed, and I was like thinking about, I was like, man, we should all just be fucking killed. I hope, like, cause there was also all these tornadoes predicted for this weekend. And I was like, maybe tornadoes should just fucking kill us all. And, you know, like, who cares? And I was like in this really like down mood. But then when I woke up Sunday, I was, you know, I got some Grippo's barbecue sauce and everything was fine. And then I got to hang out. Me and Kathleen watched, some telly last night. And,
telly?
Yeah. It's the television.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you should just say that.
I like abbreviating things.
TV is the correct abbreviation.
Yeah, sure. So we watched a special in the Titanic, which sank 100 years ago on my birthday. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I know. It's like...
Yeah.
I'm not one of these assholes who doesn't know that it's not real.
Yeah. I don't know. Show me some proof.
I read it in a history book in
Yeah.
school.
Yeah. Okay. And there's wreckage.
Yeah.
So what did you do to celebrate my birthday?
What did I do to celebrate your birthday? I had a weird weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. My Friday, my friend Amanda, she didn't have to do any homework, which is a rarity. So we went out and saw a movie. Not only did I leave my apartment to see a movie out at a movie theater,
Yeah.
I saw a movie on its opening night.
Oh my gosh, that is weird.
Yeah.
Was that horrible?
The movie?
The experience?
The experience? Actually not.
Really?
As I predicted, the movie that I went to see was not very popular amongst people.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too crowded. It was
Oh.
also early-ish enough.
Right.
It started at 7.
Okay, it wasn't like, yeah.
Yeah. But we went to see Cabin in the Woods.
Nice.
And I can't tell you about it, other than everybody should go fucking see that movie
Yeah?
without knowing a damn thing about it.
That's the Joss Whedon movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's something you can know about it, right?
That is something you can know about it.
Yeah.
And it's about a cabin in the woods. It's about a group of kids who go to this cabin in the woods, and then terrible things happen.
Wow, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it sounds really
It's
good.
got the guy who played Thor in it.
Yeah. In the recent film or like the TV?
The recent.
Okay.
It also has Richard Jenkins in it, which is awesome.
Who's that?
You would probably know him best. He was in Burn After Reading. He was like the bald guy who was in love with Francis McDormand's character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. I think he's been in a couple Coen Brothers movies,
Yeah, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was excellent. Highly recommend that movie.
Okay.
Yeah, seriously, it's a fantastic movie. So then Saturday, you weren't here, and I was just sort of lost and alone, and I just started wandering around, and eventually found this kindly couple who took me in for the evening.
Oh, that's nice. It was like an old blind couple,
Yeah.
and like they built a fire and like made you some porridge.
Yeah, they built me a fire, and I freaked out and smashed the house.
You murdered them both.
Yes,
Yeah.
fire mine!
I can see that happening.
No, and then hung out with a couple friends and got a computer out of it.
That's a good deal. Oh, you stole a computer.
I stole a computer from their house.
Nice.
They weren't even looking.
That's great.
Yeah,
Good job.
thank you. No, they had an extra. They had an extra laptop because the guy, I guess he works for a Mac store, Mac Depot, something to deal with Macs.
Huh.
And in order to get certification, he had to prove that he could build a laptop out of used parts. So he basically rebuilt a MacBook Pro. And but since he and his wife already have newer models, that they just had this extra computer
Wow.
that was completely rebuilt with used and new parts. And so they said, "Here,
That's super cool.
fuck yeah, it is." And you'd have to be a dumb fuck to turn down a free computer, whether it's a Mac or not. Because I'm not a fan of the Mac.
Right. Oh, you will be, right?
Free computer.
Yeah. Yeah.
As you well know.
Yeah, that's how I got mine.
Yeah.
I got a free Mac. I didn't even have to murder an elderly couple. So that's cool.
Yeah, but then on your actual birthday, I did some stuff. I said I had to be somewhere at noon on that day. I went and I shot an episode of Baron von Porkchop's Terrifying Tales in the Macabre.
Nice.
It was the season finale for season 2. It was the chili cook-off special.
Oh.
So there was like 20, 30 people there.
Wow.
It was quite a lot of people.
No, is this green chili again?
No. This was actually edible.
Okay.
Actually, well, because my previous appearance, one of my previous appearances, was the plot of it was that the Baron had caught the creature from the Black Lagoon and served him up as meat. And so the episode that I appeared in, my first appearance, was I was cutting up the green meat.
Right.
And it was ground chuck that we bought at Kroger, and we just doused it in green
food color.
And then we cooked it up afterwards, and it was actually pretty tasty.
Yeah. Creature from the Black Lagoon, slightly gamey, but it goes down easy.
But no, I guess the plot line for this was that they caught Bigfoot, and they cut him up and made him into chili.
Wow. That's a lot of chili, I bet.
That is a lot of chili. But they had like a chili cook-off with the Baron and then me as his personal butcher.
Nice.
Serving up the chili, and then there were other characters there who had chili, and the Baron's arch nemesis had his own chili. But they actually had chili there. And then so, I was there for like 3 hours. I had a couple bowls of chili.
Yeah. Free chili.
Free chili.
Nice.
While Brassfield shot all this stuff. Then I was in quite a few scenes.
That's awesome. Is your character, is it the butcher, or do you have a...
I have a name. It's JD. JD the Meat Man.
JD the Meat Man. I like that. That's good.
I wear a bloody shirt and an apron.
Nice. Yeah. As butchers sometimes do.
Yeah. I told them that if they featured me more, I would go out and spend the money on a more convincing costume. They don't seem to want me to be in more episodes than I'm in.
Oh. Well, they just need to find some more creatures to chop into and make into Salisbury steaks.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want a werewolf Salisbury steak?
Right. So I did that, and Brassfield wasn't done. He still had more stuff to shoot, but everything that involved crowds or wide shots or anything specific to serving the chili or whatever. He just kept the main 4 members of the cast around and sent everybody else home. So by the time I got to my car, it was 2:40, something like that. And I was just a block away from the Neon Theater.
Oh, yeah.
And the Neon had a movie that I really wanted to see, and I thought about seeing it on Saturday or Sunday if I had the chance. And so I got out my phone, I looked up the times, and it was playing at 2:45.
Nice.
And I'm down the block, so I'm I can make that. So I drove over the Neon, I ran in, and...
in your bloody apron.
In my bloody apron.
They've seen worse.
Yeah. Had enough time to buy a Coke, sat down, and the trailers were still going on.
Nice.
And proceeded to watch the greatest fucking movie I have ever fucking seen.
That's what it's called?
Yes. They're known for short, The Raid.
The Raid?
Yes.
Is this one you can tell me about? Because I'm not familiar.
I can tell you about it. It's an Indonesian movie. It is about a group of 20 or so cops, a SWAT team, who they decide their mission is to raid a building. It's like a 15-story slum building that's run by one of the biggest criminals in Indonesia, where basically the building is full of criminals who are hiding out. Basically any criminal who is on the run and can pay rent gets to live there.
Oh, wow.
And there's also a functioning drug lab in there and everything.
Nice.
So the cops are raiding this place. They're going to bust the main guy. Floor by floor, they start going up this building, and on the 6th floor, a little kid spots them and manages to get a warning to the big boss, who then makes a call on the loudspeaker that anybody who can kill all the cops gets to live there for free. And that is 10 minutes into the movie. And for the next hour and a half, it is just the most ball-busting, non-stop action.
Really?
Straight through.
Wow.
Do you recall the scene in Old Boy where he fights 30 dudes with a hammer in a hallway?
Yeah, okay.
It is like that, only 2 hours long, and there's 15 hallways.
Wow. It's like a fucking crazy, violent video game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, there's a plot to it.
Right,
I mean, some quieter moments to help build tension and stuff like that.
Right.
But the majority of it is just fucking crazy batshit kung fu.
Oh, okay. Kung fu?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like an Indonesian kung fu. I can't remember the exact name of it, but like the director of the movie is a British guy.
Uh-huh.
And I guess he like discovered, well, he didn't discover it, but like, you know, he learned about this form of kung fu that they perform in martial arts in Indonesia.
Huh.
And so he's basically decided that he is just going to make a bunch of movies where he gets to spotlight this martial art.
Wow.
And bring it to the forefront.
That's awesome.
And so I think this is his second movie that he's made doing that. And I guess there's going to be 3 Raid movies.
Huh. Did you know what to expect in this, or just?
I just knew that it was an action movie and that it was the basic plot.
Right. Right. Wow.
I did not expect there to basically barely be any chance to calm down.
Right.
The movie was over, and I really just wanted to stick around and watch it again.
Wow.
Like I regretted leaving the Neon.
Wow,
when
really?
I left there. It's like I should have seen it again.
What did you gauge any other crowd reactions? Do people seem to like it?
Unfortunately, because I showed up so late, I had to sit in front of everybody, so
Okay.
I couldn't see anybody except for the guy coughing behind me constantly.
Right.
Which, folks, if you're sick, if you got a cough, if you got a tickle in your throat, stay the fuck home.
Yeah. There's Netflix for that.
Exactly.
Get a lozenge on Netflix.
Exactly. There was like a couple funny parts here, but nobody really laughed except one scene. One guy laughed, and no one else did. And I found it funny,
Right.
but I didn't laugh out loud,
Right.
and I just felt really bad for that guy.
Oh, maybe he was like, fuck these people, I'm laughing.
Well, he kind of laughed, and then he kind of trailed off, like he realized that he was the only one that laughed out loud.
What was it? Kathleen said she laughed at a, what movie was that? She watched Twilight, or I don't know, or something. Inappropriate laugh, but, everybody's gotta have their awkward moment.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, yeah, that sounds awesome.
It's fucking great. Go see Cabin in the Woods first, because that you're gonna run the risk of being spoiled for that.
Oh, yeah.
Sooner than later. The Raid, you don't need to worry about spoilers. You just have to worry about ass kicking.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds cool. So it's subtitled.
Yeah.
Okay. Even though it's a British director.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, the Neon has a kind of an odd mix of movies there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like the most pretentious, artsy looking stuff ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the other movie that they're showing, I think maybe they're showing 2 movies, I can't recall, but the other one in the other theater was called Jeff Who Lives at Home.
Yeah.
I think it's a comedy with has Jason Segel from
okay.
Your Mother and the Muppets and all that.
Huh. I hadn't heard about that one either.
Yeah, but it seems like one of those sort of, I mean, I know it's a comedy, but it seems like one of those sort of twee indie comedy type things.
Yeah, okay. Right. Yeah. Seemed like something to rent, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. I like Jason Segel. He's funny.
I like him too. I just don't want to ever see any movies he's been in other than the Muppets.
Yeah. Not even Bad Teacher. You ever heard Bad Teacher?
No.
Oh. I think he was like a gym teacher in this movie or something.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen it. Well, that's cool. The Raid. That sounds, both of those sound like something I would enjoy.
I think you would. I think you'd get a kick out of both.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure my lady would as well.
Yeah. I told her about both while you were gone.
Mm-hmm.
Because I told her I was going to see Cabin in the Woods, and she asked me to tell her what I thought of it. And, because, I don't know. despite the fact that she and I have had many conversations about horror movies, like she's like, I don't know, I just don't like modern day horror movies, even though I know she's seen a ton of them.
Right.
But like, once I saw it, I sent her a text and I was like, like, I highly recommend this movie. Go see it knowing as little as possible, and also realize that it's actually more of a comedy than it is a horror movie.
So would you put it in the same genre as like Tucker and Dale?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That movie was awesome.
Yeah. That would. It fits right in with there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll.
Maybe not as hilarious as Tucker and Dale was. 'Cause, it was pretty slapsticky.
Right.
But this is definitely sharp. It's definitely sharply written. Very, very clever.
Yeah. So is it written and directed by Joss Whedon?
No, just written.
Okay.
Co-written with the guy by the name of Drew Goddard, who wrote Cloverfield.
Okay.
And this is his directorial debut.
Nice. I will check it out eventually.
You should.
Hopefully before it's spoiled.
Yeah, and I don't know if where you work people would have gone to see it.
They probably won't. They're sold out for the Avengers.
Yeah. I know Joe G went to go see it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
don't spoil it for me, Joe G.
Don't do it, Joe. But do tell us if OMAC was a superpower figure.
Yeah, please do.
With a twisty head.
We should have looked that up. Yeah.
So once again, happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Glad you got to do something for your birthday.
Yeah, a little travel.
So I don't know exactly what's going on from this point here.
Oh,
because I know we got some stuff coming up that may interfere with the normally scheduled program.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
we're doing something different next weekend.
Yeah, we're not really different.
We're still sitting around talking about comics.
Right. We're just doing it in a different city.
Yeah,
like we do every year around this time.
That's right.
We're going to space again.
Space.
Not
as in Pigs In.
No, yeah. As in the Small Press and Comic Expo.
Yeah.
So we're doing that next weekend in Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully hanging out with our pals Pat Kane and Brian John Mitchell.
Yeah, no Kurt this year.
Disappointing, very disappointing. Should I say disappointing again?
You implied that
Okay.
I think you just said it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, I was waiting for you to say something, and you're not.
I can't remember why he wasn't going to be there. Was there another show? I forget what was going on.
Oh, I know he just went to C2E2
right.
last week. Well, actually, this past weekend.
I think he's doing another show in May.
Yeah.
I forget. So yeah, he's got a busy schedule, but we love our Kurt.
It'd be nice if he could come and hang out with his Ohio friends.
Oh, we love you in Ohio.
Yeah, and not fucking horror hound bullshit. Comics where you belong, Kurt.
That's right. He's big in Ohio. They love the when you're in Indiana over in Ohio.
Yeah, more towards the border.
Probably towards the border. Yeah. But yeah, PB Kane will be there. Some people who aren't BJM. Nate Powell, who's not really our friend or anything, but he was formerly on the show. He'll be there.
Former guest, yeah.
Nate McDonough will be there. I like his stuff.
Not a former guest.
Not a former guest, but good stuff though.
Whatever you say.
It'll be fun. That's a good show. Look it up at www.backporchcomics.com.
Yeah.
Click on the space thing.
Yeah, you can
tell
swing by. I'll most likely be drunk the entire weekend.
No, nice.
Yeah. As I am every year.
Yeah. That's what makes comic conventions tolerable.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
will not have anything for sale. the people around me will all have stuff that I have contributed to.
Yeah. Oh, wow, yeah.
For sale.
At least 3 different things, probably. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I guess when we come back, because of the busyness of the weekend, we'll be doing a sort of a recap of that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I think that's probably the plan.
Yeah.
So I don't have to pick a movie.
You don't have to. You can if you want.
Maybe
2 weeks from now.
Maybe I'll give myself another week to
think about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was kind of going back and forth right before, like when we took the break, I was looking at your movies, trying to see if I wanted to pick one of those instead of the one I have in mind.
Right.
So yeah, maybe I'll sit on it for a week.
You do sit on it.
I'll keep it under my hat.
Yeah, and I will then just rent whatever the fuck I want from Netflix this upcoming week.
This week's all about you, buddy.
Yeah. I'm gonna rent that first movie from the Raid guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I can't remember the name of it. It's a foreign name.
Another Indonesian kung fu stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, maybe we'll just have a grand old time in Columbus and tell you all about it.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll do that next week. Or maybe there won't even be a show next week.
Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. You'll just have to guess at what we got up to.
Yeah.
All the craziness.
Unless you're there.
Right.
Come on out.
Which you should be.
Where's it at? It's in,
I don't know.
It's at the Shriner Museum or something.
Isn't it at a hotel?
Yeah.
It has been for the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Columbus, Ohio. There we go. That's where it's at. Yeah, just look it up. Google Small Press Alternative Comics Expo Columbus. You'll find it.
Is it Alternative Comics Expo or is it And Comics?
Oh, no, it's alternative. Small Press Alternative.
Sure?
Huh?
Are you sure?
I think. Isn't it?
I think it's And.
Well, maybe
whatever. Just look up space.
Yeah.
Bob Corby.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a name you can find.
There you go. Back Porch Comics. How many of those can there be?
Brian John Mitchell has some information for you.
There's like 8 links on my blog about it. Yeah.
Find it on Facebook. Do whatever you got to do. If you're in Ohio, if you're not in Ohio,
it's worth the drive. It's 2 days.
Yeah,
Saturday and Sunday, 21st and 22nd.
We'll be there. We'll be there the entire time.
Mm-hmm. Drunk as hell.
Drunk, drawing.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, fornicating with Wookiees and whatever.
Okay.
Dr. Girlfriend people walking around. If we see any Dr. Girlfriends and Wookiees, we're banging them. That's
right.
it.
That sounds like a plan.
All right.
All right then. So
that'll bring Kurt out.
Yeah.
He goes Wookiee costume. Yeah. Tape his breasts together and get in his Dr. Girlfriend suit.
All right. Good night.
Yeah.
You can subscribe to Gutter Trash at iTunes or directly at guttertrash.net. If you go to iTunes, please leave us a review. You can email us at eric@guttertrash.net or jason@guttertrash.net. For more info, you can find us on Facebook. Or you can go to seanborn.net or buyerbeware.guttertrash.net. Listen to our sister podcast, League Night, at league.guttertrash.net. Thank you for listening. Until next time.